Hello, world,
Here we
and
go.
welcome back. Today is Sunday, and it is another podcast day. I am Crownson's Corner, Ryan, aka all that kind of stuff. Other co-host is Hollywood Betty. Everybody, all right, everybody, calm down. And this is the Healing Chefs podcast. Healing Chefs podcast is all about healing, but thing is we're just trying to make people not feel as alone going through a lot of these things, so we try to cover the subjects that aren't covered as much, but healing chef. So everybody that I have on here, I believe, is a leader. Chief meaning chief, chef is comes from chief meaning leader. All that being said, today's chef is Cookies Queen 33 on Instagram, but Allison, long time. Thank you very much for showing up. Yeah, hell yeah. Appreciate you coming in. We had you scheduled at one point in time, but life.
Right.
So I'm happy we could figure this out. And I'm a little high if you can't tell. I'm fumbling all over my words.
I had a lot of RSO before I came, so I'm chilling.
Oh man, that sounds great. Shout out to Rick Simpson. He's been active recently, actually, on YouTube. Go check it out. Yeah,
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, I'll try to put a link somewhere so people can check it out.
Okay.
But before we get into any segments, I do want to ask you, what is it that you do around the community? So people can kind of understand, especially your IG page or stuff like that, the socks, and then we can go into the different segments.
All right. Well, I guess mainly I'm a cannabis photographer. Do that on the side, just as a hobby.
Yeah.
Kind of started when I moved here about 6 years ago. Before that, I never took pictures of my weed, which is weird because that's all I do now. and anyone else's if they let me.
For sure.
So yeah, my page is every single picture is I took myself, and
some beautiful shots
myself.
on there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
Stunning.
you. Recently, I had somebody. They were surprised because they thought I was posting other people's pictures, and no,
there's plenty that
mine.
do that. Yeah.
Wow. That's basically what I do, and I'm kind of vocal on Instagram when it comes to DMing and stuff. I talk to a lot of the growers in the community and just shoot the shit with them, get to know them and stuff like that. And it's nice because I kind of had to start over in the cannabis community 6 years ago when I moved here, and that was a little rocky at first, but
awesome. Well, let's jump into that kind of sort of. So we'll do the first segment, which is Cannabis Journey. If we go ahead and play that real quick. You see the birds? They're up here high with me. So Cannabis Journey is all about how you found cannabis yourself, and then where you're at with it now. I always tell people, I know myself, I started with brick weed.
Same.
And the big tray, so we had to lift it up so all the seeds would fall down, and so you wouldn't have to pick through them. Or whoever didn't pay, you make them pick through all the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Every stem,
For sure. Definitely.
Go to work. Yeah. So, So, what was your cannabis journey? How did you find cannabis yourself?
It's basically when I was a freshman in college. I just I'm not sure exactly. Probably somebody had it at a party or something.
Yeah.
And I've always been an insomniac. And when I started smoking it at parties, I realized how well I could sleep.
Heck yeah.
So then I started kind of buying it here and there, basically to smoke at night to sleep. But as I got older, I had a lot more health problems and smoked it more and more. And now I use it kind of all day, every day in some form or another.
For sure.
Because I've got high anxiety and other things like that. So
because life.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But I had a neighbor who sold weed in bricks back then, and he would just come over and just be like, here, and just give me a handful of it. So yeah, did that, and then that was when I was in Northern California. Then when I got to Southern California, I was introduced to hydro,
There you go.
And that's when I really fell in love with weed.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So in Arizona too, out here, when like we would find like kind bud or
Yeah.
when like hydro is like we're like, oh
Yeah, you got the hydro.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was into, and I searched for that everywhere I could when I lived in San Diego. So
You ever do knife hits?
yeah, definitely.
Because we would
I've
get
seen
that.
somebody just
what?
full on pass out right after doing one.
That's dabbing,
Just hitting
dog.
the floor.
That's
It
early
is.
dabbing.
It is early dabbing, the
So-
OG dabs.
So what we're talking about is back in the day, like when you had really good weed and you didn't want to just like throw it in a blunt or whatever, we would take knives and weave them in the coils or
That's
just
that
of the
stove.
stove, the electric stove, and let them heat up. And then when they heat up, you have like a soda bottle or something that's cut in half, or some way to breathe it in, to funnel it into your face. But you then take the two knives, you have someone set it on there, and then you just smash it with the knives and you breathe that in.
Oh, the smoke comes up.
I'm
So-
pressing it.
So
Yeah.
basically you're vaporizing it.
Yeah, we had like
Wow.
I think 2-liter bottles.
Yeah,
We would
2 liter
cut the
bottles.
bottom off
Exactly.
of, yeah, and then we just squeeze them, and oh my god.
That's ingenuity
She
right
just
there.
rips.
That's at its finest.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
what you do back
Stoner
in the day.
McGuire. Ryan
MacGyver.
talking, take 2. MacGyver. the guy McGuire. Weed, it does a body good. So all right, so you found hydro.
Yeah, I found hydro and just started kind of buying it all the time, and
Yeah.
I kind of became a loner stoner
Mm-hmm.
because not a lot of my friends were into weed, or I was the only one who brought it. Basically, everybody
Yeah.
assumed I would, and I always would. Regardless, I had to have mine.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
matter
Snoop,
where I was,
you gotta
so-
get yours, but I gotta get
Yeah,
mine.
and I actually, so I became a loner stoner, and I started learning about weed, and it's kind of how I got my name. I would say this is back in like 2014.
Okay.
I lived alone and kind of a new area, and Weed Maps would have these like bunk dispensaries up for a day or two or whatever, and I happened to find one. I walked to it. It was in an alley in someone's garage.
Hell yeah, dog.
But
That's not sketch.
but this dude's garage had shelves and glass jars and all this stuff. I was like, no way. And so I end up choosing this jar of Berners cookies.
Mm.
And never heard of them or anything like that. But I loved it so much that I was kind of obsessed with any sort of cross that had anything to do with cookies.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was into the Do-si-dos, into the gelato, and anything that, was off of that. So
Shout out all
You
the
knew it was crossed
that's-
with cookies. You knew it was
yeah,
good.
so that's kind of how Cookies Queen started.
Heck yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to all the cookies. Shout out Berners. Shout out the Santa Cruz homies. Earth Rhythm, Growing Passion, The Buck, Native Selections, Fuego Family Farms. I always mess that up, but yeah, all of them. We did smoke some Earth Rhythm cinnamon rolls just before this.
Yeah, tasty.
really good.
We just somehow I teleported there and teleported back or something. Or just, the time continuum is unexplainable. So anyway, then nowadays, or do we skip anything?
We have not skipped anything. I don't think we're leading up into this, and I guess what I do for a living, maybe.
Oh
'Cause
no,
it's
I'm just
also
talking.
interesting.
Yeah, well, no, we'll definitely do all that, but I'm talking about your cannabis. So, like myself, when I moved out here, I went from, that was 2015. I went from buying 3 grams of some weird shatter from my guy
Mm-hmm.
who would tell me whatever it is. It could be reclaim, who knows? And from that to going to get shatter, to getting slabs, to getting
Got you. I got you.
and then going to live resin, and now we're on to
Well, it is a funny story about my first dab. This is still back when I was a loner stoner and I was walking to dispensaries. I didn't have a car.
Did they dab you on the way out?
Well, I go to this one, and there was a first time patient like spin the wheel, and I won a free dab,
Yep.
and that they had this big thing that was sucking up all the smoke. You just blew into it. And they asked me what size I wanted. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into.
Oh no.
So I took the biggest
Oh,
dab,
no.
and I tried to take it like a champ. And I thought I did a pretty good job. Well, they said that I also won another spin, and
Oh.
on the second spin, I got another free dab.
Oh,
And I was like, all right. And they were like, what do you mean? What are you going to do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I going to do?
I'm gonna do
I'm
another
going to do the
dab.
second dab.
The f-
And they're like, what?
How
So
high are you?
I did it. I did it, went like this and just walked out, and I pretty much died on the sidewalk.
Like you throw up or
No, I
just put
hands on the knees, just trying to breathe for probably 10 minutes.
Remember what
Couldn't
life
couldn't
is.
get a full breath
Oh,
at
no.
all.
just cover it in oil.
Yeah, I was all sweaty. I was like, oh my God, why did I do that?
The
That's
dab
why they were
sweats.
warning me.
Yeah.
Was it shatter? Was it? Do you
It
know?
was shatter. Yeah,
Oh,
it was just
yeah.
like a big triangle of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like there used to be some really good shatter. But I mean they don't use Nug Run really that much anymore
Yeah.
for shatter.
Mhm.
But
I
when
used to love the dosage control with the shatter because you just break off a piece and
That's
you can,
easy.
and
what-
you're seeing what you're doing and you can
Yeah.
plan
Yep.
it out.
Right.
I used to do that, but I used to call it Dunkin' basketballs because I put them into big balls. No diddy.
Oh, you'd
Whatever.
warm it up. Like,
no,
with-
and I would warm it up and roll it into a ball,
Mhm.
and then just heat it up and just throw a fat one in there and just. But I was just like, I'm dunking it.
the satisfaction of the melt, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and the melt in the brain too. But yeah,
Right? Yeah, I've never been huge into dabbing because every time I get a piece, I break it. Every time. Like we got one of
I'm
those
similar.
Cartas. I got a Carta.
Yeah.
Probably used it 4 times, and the cat knocked it off the counter. It's cracked.
Oh no, cat. Yeah, mine doesn't do any of that. I'm usually the one that breaks stuff, so I've been doing really good with my Zong and the piece that I have now. But I think technically the rig that I have, like an ex buy that for me, and there's insurance on it, but it's
Wow.
only like $100. I'm like, why did?
What?
It's part of why we're not together.
She got the insurance plan.
And it
all-
was all my money. But anyway, but so yeah, so we did the shatter and stuff, and then the live resin came, or just BHO came, and then live resin. Live resin is was, I believe, invented in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah, if you look it up, I believe it's OG Yields, Yields is who came up with it. Is the flash frozen, right at harvest time or whatever, and then process it from there. I think before then they weren't doing that. I think they might have still been curing it and everything. Yeah. But yeah, so then there's that. Now we're on to rosin.
Yeah. I've just barely,
And RSO. Well,
barely
you're
dipped
telling
my toes into that stuff. So
you say you're especially today you took RSO and stuff like that.
yeah, I've got a friend that's been bringing it to me as a just I've had a lot of issues with my hands and my surgeries and things like that. So it's been helping me a lot with pain.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
doctors don't give you medicine anymore.
No,
They do not.
I threw my back out and they didn't give me.
Yeah.
They gave me, well, while I was there, they gave me a very small shot of Dilaudid.
Oh yeah, when I was in the hospital, it was fine. But
As soon as you get out, they don't give you shit.
They don't care anymore. So this my friend was bringing me RSO, and he's still doing it. Every couple of weeks, he'll drop some off for me, and I try to use it only when I really need it, so that especially so I don't get really used to it, so that it works.
For sure.
But it's been so helpful ever since I started using it.
Yeah. I really like when I'm in a lot of pain or something, especially like for myself, like stomach pain.
I have that.
Yeah, that RSO is what really do it. Also, and we'll kind of like transition to the next segment here in a minute, but when I trip, I like to have RSO because you get the
I've
full
never done
spec,
that.
you get the full spectrum and everything. But the cannabis helps calm down the paranoia of the come up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you've ever been in that part of like tripping and like,
Oh yeah.
like you feel like your
Mhm.
face is in the wind and shit
Mhm.
like that. You take a fat rip off of some weed
Yeah, it
or a
chills
dab,
you
or
out a little
you're just
bit.
like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, this is
Mhm.
dope.
Yeah.
but a couple minutes ago, you're like screaming. But yeah, so I definitely do that. I like to do that.
Yeah, I'll have to try that next time.
CBD is real. Well, CBD is the one thing that you really want when you're tripping and stuff. It's the antipsychotic, all that kind of. It's the anti. I did want to talk about one thing before we get out of cannabis real quick, and just was about. So I know we've all seen all the different brands and stuff like that. I'm hoping eventually that we can get more transparency for like different byproducts, because you have all these new cart companies and pre-roll companies and different edible companies and stuff, like where like it needs to be a little bit more transparent, like where they're sourcing their medicine from.
Mm-hmm.
And now, will they do all that kind of stuff? I don't think so, because that'll mess up their money.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping somebody in charge of like AZDHS or someone will get that towards these people, because what's happening is there's like a lot of old product and it gets used as byproducts and stuff, and we don't even know. We're not educated consumers.
Mm-hmm.
The testing doesn't put exactly where they got the stuff in the first place, and so on and so forth. I guess you can follow the licenses.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know like different concentrates and stuff are also processed. Do you guys know about white labeling?
Not really.
Okay. So I'm dropping some
I was
bombs.
today years old.
Today,
Don't worry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie about shit I don't know about.
Yeah. What was the new one? Dropping knowledge. All right. So white labeling in different dispensaries, businesses and stuff is when a company brings in somebody else's product and then puts it under their label.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Exactly.
So yeah, I'm not calling out any companies or anything
I
like
won't
that,
either.
because I also the main thing is there's people that work at these places that aren't the problems, and I don't want to hurt their lives.
Sure.
You understand? I'm
Yeah.
trying to mature and stuff like that. I'm just hoping.
Shout out to growth.
Yes.
Shout out to Ryan growing up finally.
Adulting.
But like I'm just hoping that we can bring some change, and
sure.
starting these conversations, and maybe someone will hear this stuff, because white labeling is fine and stuff to help different brands get their stuff out when they don't have as much exposure.
Right.
But also we need to be educating our consumers, our customers, our patients with the right information so we can make educated decisions about our health.
Sure.
Or we're going to turn the cannabis industry into the medical industry.
Right.
Which doesn't want you healthy or dead. They just want you sick.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll table this conversation for now, but it's something that we can all start thinking about. Transparency in the products and in licenses, because there's brands and stuff, processing stuff, you don't even know where it's coming from. And they're not even putting their name on it, because they know if they put their name on it, it's not a top product. So we'll leave it at that. All right. So we'll go ahead and jump into Trip Tales.
Which one do I choose?
How fitting.
Funny.
Yeah, sorry I had to take the hot wings off there. They didn't pay for that sponsorship. No one's paid. We're working on it. But if you guys are looking for sponsorship, we're working on a packet right now. So we'll get with you. But psychedelic stuff. Brian talking Take 2, 10, 20. Trip Tales is all about, psychedelic experiences and whatnot. Go ahead. Wait, whatever you would like to share with us. whatever story, both stories, all the stories.
Yeah, I've got a million.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess growing up, I started with ecstasy,
Hmm.
mdma.
Yeah.
I was probably like 19ish, maybe around there. No, I was 21 because I waited till I got out of college to start doing other things besides.
Where were you?
San Diego. San Diego State is where I graduated from.
You and I were kind of doing the same thing.
So yeah,
at certain point.
I knew a guy. Well, the guy that sold me weed, he also sold other things.
Yeah, it's just it's called diversifying your
Yeah.
portfolio.
Exactly. So, and he lived right between my place and school. So sometimes I wouldn't actually make
That's
it
not
to
creepy.
school. But yeah, so he had like really great stuff, and I started doing that. I partied with that for a long time.
Are we talking don't do this stuff, but are we talking pressed like pills, or are we talking like the
the stuff I started with was in a capsule, and it was a pure white powder.
yeah.
It was the good stuff.
Okay, so you're talking real MDMA, because
yes,
like when I was younger, we got a lot of what I called at the time Skittles,
those little
and I used to
pills
facilitate that.
Yeah,
with like
moons
Superman
on 'em
and
all that stuff.
Don't do that shit.
The triple stacks will get you.
Anything will get you now in a
Right.
pill form.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do any of that
It's
stuff
got fentanyl
now.
in it.
But yeah, way
Probably.
back in the day, you didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
No, yeah.
You just had to worry about what it was mixed with, what other kind of drug.
Sure.
It's
Usually meth.
Yeah. So yeah, I did a lot of that, and I had only done mushrooms a few times. I did LSD a few times, but recently, not too long ago, I did a whole bunch of liquid acid with my fiance.
Oh,
and
shout out fiance.
I would have to say it is the most fucked up I've ever been in my life.
How much?
4 hits.
Like drops?
Drops. Little drops, and for 7 hours, everything was purple sparkles.
Wow.
Straight. I could not see anything but purple sparkles.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the
It was crazy.
like it's like a filter on like After Effect or something.
It totally was. Yeah.
Like the romantic.
It's just purple everywhere. And we watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh my God,
wow,
dude. What are you doing? What are y'all doing?
Yeah, so like,
what about the goddamn golf shoes, man?
I'm good for a minute.
That movie alone,
I'm definitely
on its
good
own,
for a
is
minute.
already.
We still have a couple hits left.
As your lawyer, I recommend you take all.
Yeah, we were dying laughing the whole time.
Oh, I love that movie, but
And then
I would definitely
forget, and then like Tobey Maguire shows up, and I die.
Oh my God, yeah. He's freaking out in the back. Holy shit, we're in backcountry.
Yep.
Goodness gracious. No, I grew up with a dad that yep, sorry that hit me. Dad shit. But I grew up with a dad that was a big fan of Hunter S. Thompson and all that stuff. So I read the books and everything before I saw the movie and everything. Yeah. And yeah, that dude. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's a trip.
Yeah, and you guys are insane for trying to watch that movie.
I was like, let's do it. She's
on
like,
psychedelics.
She's like, well, I didn't really like it when I saw it. And I'm like, you didn't like it? Please try it. And yeah, 2 seconds in, she's like, I love this.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but like, especially when the lizards.
I know.
I'd be like,
the lizard. We were crouching down too. Like,
well, for sure. And then the blood. I remember at one point in time I was tripping. So when I first tried acid, which was out in Arizona, I was like, I'm gonna be the acid taking chef immediately. I'm like, so yeah. Anytime with I don't know, my brain farted again. Like shit. Where were we at?
Arizona.
Yeah.
I took it. I wanted to be the acid taking chef. So after years later, fast forward to me making cupcakes, medicated THC cupcakes and stuff like that for people, allegedly satire. And I was making red velvet cupcakes. I'm a veteran, and I've been to Iraq twice. And I started making them, and then I started pouring them, and I'm like, oh my God, it's all red. Oh. I'm like, it's all blood. I'm like, oh my God. So like for there's a long way around it, but for for you guys to watch that with the blood and everything and the well, I'm gonna have to make this a clip so everyone can see what I'm talking about.
You gotta put the lizards in for sure.
For sure.
And then like towards the end when they start freaking out in their hotel room.
And
you're not really sure if the lawyer's in there or not. All that.
He's throw the
sketchy.
Throw the toaster in when White Rabbit
all of
peaks.
All of that.
Like, what are you talking? No. Yeah, crazy. That's a good one.
It is a good one.
Speaking of movies, though, I saw this recently about a day ago. Paul Stamets. You know Paul Stamets? Paul Stamets is a mycologist. He was on Joe Rogan's recently, and they were talking about Dune. Have you seen Dune?
Nope.
Okay. So in Dune, and I haven't seen it all either, but you can look this up. They have a thing. It's blue juice. Okay. And there's this like cult of like women that are doing all this stuff. And blue juice, actually, if you take, I forgot which strain of shroom it is, but when you put it in the water, it creates the blue juice. It creates blue water. And then you can take that and pour that on stuff.
The blue meanies. It's only blue.
Yeah. Or the albino penis envy that when you cut them, they're blue.
Oh, yeah, the blue on the inside.
And then you can pour that blue juice anywhere and it'll start growing shrooms.
Oh, okay.
Now, when you look at this movie, all those women are at least the group, I don't know if it's all women. I think he said it was all women. They all have blue eyes. So they've all been drinking that juice. And then also they're fighting for spice. And spice, if you look at it, is just nothing but spores. So Paul Stamets is friends with the guy who created Dune. And he was talking to him. He's like, hey, that blue juice, is that when you... And then he's like, and then the spice looks like spores. Is this all shrooms? And the guy's like, you're the first one to ever get it. And it's...
Wow.
Like, so kind of like Dune is kind of about shrooms and stuff. So it's something to check out.
On shrooms.
You're going to definitely need that because I've tried to watch it on weed and I fell asleep because it's so slow.
Oh my God.
It's kind of monochromatic and very slow. I'm just like, whoa, shit. But yeah, so check that out. That's something to check out on shrooms. Maybe not as intense as fear unloading in Las Vegas, but it won't be as fun of a ride, I believe. But yeah, something to.
All right.
Yeah. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and jump into our little break, and then we'll come back with mental health is wealth.
Awesome.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Aisha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
All right, now keep on rolling, baby. Sorry, I have these high. You guys are watching and listening to something to high people, so you know
Right.
you look. It's like a Craigslist ad. You answered the ad. You knew what this was.
THC.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
You knew what this was.
Mhm.
All right. Mental health is wealth. Let it rain on your brain. And we're back. So mental health is wealth. Obviously, we all use these different things, cannabis, psychedelics, to help our health, both physical and mental nowadays, especially as we're getting closer to, and we're not going to talk about it,
Mhm.
the election coming up. Everyone's losing their minds already in life, so this is going to be great. But
You're right.
so with mental health at an all-time high of importance, as we all froth uh, with rabies.
Cope with what is life.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not easy.
how do you like? So I'd like to ask people if they have any coping mechanisms or anything that they do, so they can share with people. So, because like when I went to get help, I didn't really have anybody to like tell me um, like cleaning and organizing and stuff like that is an okay. I mean, obviously it's an okay expression,
Mhm.
but that's something that I notice when I'm upset. That's something that I do to cope because I can control things. But it's not just doing that thing; it's realizing why I'm doing that thing.
Mhm.
And I just ask if anybody else has anything that they do, so
Yeah.
we can help somebody that maybe doesn't relate to something that I do.
Sure. I mean, like I overthink, like my brain spins constantly. And a lot of times I'm thinking like bad about myself. So I try to just make sure my brain is always busy so that I don't sit there and wallow or sit there and stress out or, whatever the case may be that day. One thing that I do is I never have silence. I always either have music or the TV, even when I sleep. Um, That's one
Mhm.
thing that I do to keep busy. But then I got into the photography, and I would not think about anything else. I still don't think about anything else when I'm taking pictures.
Exactly.
And now, I'm trying to start a few side businesses, and when I'm working on those, I don't think about anything else. And I realized, like, I used to sit around and do nothing, not wanting to do anything. And now that I've been doing something, I don't want to sit around ever. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
So just learning how to keep your mind busy on a hobby, learning something, it really helps.
Absolutely. I thank you. Hell yeah. I definitely agree with that. I at one point in time would see people like go to like coffee shops and different things and have their laptops and stuff out, and I'm like, I don't have anything to do with that.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like that too.
I'm like, I want to have a laptop and have something to do, like, and like not even like feel important to anybody else, but like I've never used I never had like I've seen people have it for business and do all this other stuff, but the only time I've ever had a computer or anything, I just like I go on the internet, I Google something, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
So
it never crossed my mind to like focus on something for
Yeah.
years. And yeah, once I did, I was like, oh man, this is so much easier to not sit around thinking about myself and my
Well,
life and just focus
Yeah.
on things.
Channeling that creative energy
And that
too.
creates something
positivity.
positive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, like you didn't like, yeah, it definitely brings positive energy because you start creating those things that you used to sit around like, I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that, and then you just like finally just do it.
Yeah.
But like,
And I'm totally learning along the way. Fish out of water right now, but
who are you talking to?
but I know that hard work is going to pay off. That the law of averages is going to happen eventually.
Process.
So
Trust the like anything. Like how do you build a sandwich?
exactly, you got to learn how to do it. Figure it out.
One item at a time.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
don't go into your refrigerator and go, all right,
Yeah.
and it's done.
I will have to say one other thing that I do when I really need to like a release of tension and stuff. I get tattoos.
Oh yeah, show the new work or whatever.
Yeah, this is the new one.
It's beautiful,
do
very
you know who did-
colorful.
A week old.
Who did that? Or
Rich Victorum at Victorum Tattoo in Scottsdale.
shout out.
Yeah.
Really good work.
He's done this whole arm, and like this arm's California, this arm's Arizona.
Oh, I
Nice.
love that.
Yeah.
That's dope. I love that.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, it looks great.
I
Thanks.
love it. So yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that with
Sure.
us. What I kind of wanted to share a little bit, like I haven't shared some of the lessons and stuff that I've learned over the past like 2 years, but too much And when I talked to Betty recently, she's like, maybe you should share some of that stuff. So what I found out, and hopefully people can kind of relate to this stuff, is I finally, at 39 years old, am an adult. I feel like I had a lot of traumas in my life with the army, with stuff way in the past, with my parents, and all sorts of different things. And that kind of like it sometimes will stunt your growth. And I think when I was like going through therapy and whatnot, I talked to my therapist, and we kind of were talking about the reasons. God, like this is part of my PTSD. This is what's happening. Like I get into like talking, and then like there's holes in my brain, and I just like skip one. But anyway, we get stuck. There we go. I'm back. I got the train back. So we get stuck and like stunted in our growth. And I've been kind of like a teenager because I feel like we were saying, because I wanted to go back and relive those years in a positive light.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept trying to relive that and relive it and relive it and relive it, and realizing like it's never going to happen again. I have to let go and then and grow.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing drugs and partying all the time and not paying rent, what I'm now doing is paying rent and sitting at home.
Same.
And it's so boring sometimes, but what I just started to realize is like it's only boring because I make it boring. And I started actually creating the website, making the stickers. Don't call them slaps. I asked someone if they wanted a slap earlier.
Well, and I think too, when you do that, boringness is actually that calmness that you weren't able to have before because you were in that survival mode. You know, when you're putting off the obligations, or you're ignoring, the things that need to get done in order to, sometimes not even on purpose. You don't even realize it until you look back and it's been how many weeks or days, and you're just like, oh, well, I have to clean up that mess, and just kind of go back, and you have that stress again. And it's this kind of never ending cycle. And when you break that cycle and the calmness comes over it, you realize how bizarre it feels to be stable in that way, and just have that quietness and be like, oh, I have the time to do these things. I have the resources to do these things now. I have the mindset, the mind shift. And this is something I want to do, now, instead of, anything more detrimental.
That's a good point. It's,
at least for me, that's when the ground settled, beneath my feet in a way like that, where I just stopped carrying the guilt of, okay, that's paid, or that's caught up, or that's, because that is just an overwhelming feeling, it really is. And so when you get caught up, or you get into that adult life of being consistent on those terms, you realize what it did to your mental health and that negative way, and what you're able to declutter and replace it with.
Yeah, you don't really realize it until you're out of it.
Yeah,
you're doing the positive stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Is that I'm more familiar with struggle, so when I'm not struggling, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
I'm like, this isn't right. Let me go fuck something up.
Yeah, the struggle becomes comfortable, and the chaos
Yeah.
becomes normal.
And I do stress out about that a lot, about failing, because I am doing well now. I am paying my rent. I am paying my bills.
Yeah.
I am staying at home, doing all the right things, but I still stress out that like I'm going to fuck it up.
Oh yeah. I've had business ventures recently that just didn't go right. And I'm like, man, I'm making my payments, taking care of business. But yeah, it just didn't work out. And I was stressing over it for a while. And, it's just like, it's life.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to get there to where it's taken care of, but like, I'm not going to sit here and like, worry steals your right now.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't save the later.
No.
It just, it steals your right now. So like, I'm done with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if someone doesn't like, if I've like cut somebody off at a certain time, or you don't think that it's come to a resolution. I apologize to you, but I cut stuff out of my life. Like sometimes timeout is necessary.
For sure.
Yeah. Another thing is, especially with now we're doing all creative things, you're doing stuff, and we're gonna get into that. is realizing that as I look on social media is that we need to be multifaceted in our creativity and stuff, because I see people do like one thing, like, I don't know, the Chick-fil-A girl. You know, like people that do like one thing or something on TikTok, and then that's what they have to do the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be cornered into any of that kind of stuff. And I feel for those people, because eventually it's gonna fizzle out. And then what? And then I feel like if I was ever known for something like that, it's hard to break out of that one thing. So that's something to think about. I'm trying to get into more of the creating different products and stuff, and also showing people that even an angry old veteran can change and heal, and maybe be an example to some people. You don't have to don't do what I do, but do better. But yeah, I like to show more light on different people, and I think it's better for us to be multifaceted. Speaking of which, anybody want to add anything to that?
What do you mean about these?
No, I'm gonna jump into that.
No,
I'm talking about mental health. Anybody?
I think I'm good.
Awesome.
That was a good talk.
Yeah, and last thing is, not like, once we have these wins in our lives, everything is fleeting, right? Good times go just as well as bad times go. So enjoy whatever accomplishment that you get, 24 hours, then move on. Next thing. Because once you rely on that one thing, again, you're going to be cornered and stuck into that one thing. So keep growing, keep pushing yourself, keep pushing. Don't be a part of the crowd. Push that mother. Sorry. All right. So we will jump into the last segment, which is Plug Talk, all about promo.
Okay.
All right. So now, plug talk, right? Ryan talking, take 10. Plug Talk is all about promo and stuff like that. Now, you do all your pictures, but like we were talking about, becoming creative, you're starting to make a bunch of things. You do have Socks That Pop.
Yes.
Socks That Pop. 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 Check it out.
Yes. Socks That Pop. Yeah, I started this maybe 7 months ago. I've always been obsessed with socks and hoodies. So,
Stoner life.
Yeah, so I started with the socks, and they're bright, colorful, unique.
They pop.
What have you? Yeah, exactly. Hence the name.
Socks That Pop.
And my hoodies are anything from stoner hoodies, surfer, skater, music stuff, like just kind of all in that realm there.
Oh yeah.
So, and we also have board shorts, and I just started selling T-shirts as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? This is something that we can start doing too. Maybe add to sponsorships, but I want to maybe start it with you just for free. Yes. Maybe add your merch and stuff, like a link to your stuff on our website and stuff too.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Because this is what we're all about, is helping everybody and everything. So I think that's what we should start doing.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Local brands,
for sure.
And we can just start putting that up there. And yeah.
So starting that, I kind of just started learning design, and I'm a little Photoshop, but like other programs I've become pretty savvy with.
CapCut, InShot.
All that kind of stuff. I've been starting in video, doing my own little commercial videos and stuff.
Nice.
I hired a guy that helps me with social media, Instagram and Pinterest and stuff like that.
Dope.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's in Pakistan.
Okay.
And it took a while to get the right one, but I trust this guy with like everything.
That's great.
And he is amazing. He does like 50 times more things than I ask him to do, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But it allows me to keep designing and creating new things instead of, all the grunt work and having to post all these things all day long. So
yeah, it is time consuming.
It really is.
I wake up You guys start.
And I
seeing me
work 50
post.
hours a week too.
Oh shit! Yeah, dude. Like, whew.
Yeah.
It's not like I have to have the job that I do right now to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like-
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I do like my side stuff from like 3 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Jesus.
and
Christ.
then maybe a couple hours after work too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
Gotta
for
get
sure.
in,
For
gotta
sure.
get
I
in
get
where
up
you fit in.
early and I like post stuff and run stuff, and
Yeah.
then I need to stay motivated and go take my ass to work. But I work for a couple hours doing editing and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? No. And then I start stressing about bills. But
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so no, shout out to you. That's a hustle and a half. I know
Yeah.
how
I
hard
am
that
a
is.
hustler. I kind of always have been. Like, I've never really had money, and
I have money sometimes.
I've always lived paycheck to paycheck at the best.
Yeah.
So just working hard and living, still kind of living paycheck to paycheck, but with way nicer means.
Well, I
Making
mean,
it work.
nowadays,
Yeah.
I
like
have a nice
who is
place,
like?
and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a view of the golf course, and so
Hell
it's
yeah.
pretty nice. When in San Diego, I was living in a trailer.
Yeah, I gotta pick.
It's all those glimmers in life that make your life successful.
Yep.
I got a view of Circle K.
Nice.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you where I live, but yeah, no,
Circle K.
it's crazy.
You could probably make a TikTok or Instagram just based on that.
Oh,
Oh,
I
wow.
Things
mean,
you
Yeah.
see outside your window
I-
at the Circle
You gotta get a Zoom, and you could film so many things.
oh man, I just walk up there and just like it's a whole content for sure, but I don't want to do that. I feel yeah. So can we see some of the socks that pop?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're not gonna like blow up in my face. Pop
No, they're not.
pop
actually
goes a
pop.
weasel because the weasel goes pop.
So these are the few that I brought. Where I just show them at the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like these are kind of cool actually. I like because they're the ocean.
Oh,
all
yeah,
way-
the
all way
ombre
to the sky.
fade.
Yeah, they'll fade it in like that.
She said,
Mhm.
she said
Sit.
ombre.
Ombre fade.
These are
Those are my
one of
favorite.
my-
They're
one
so
of my favorites. These are
cute.
tattoo inspired. I actually make a whole line of tattoo inspired hoodies and
Oh,
t-shirts, too.
really?
They have,
Like flash art
a
type.
a
Nice.
classic tattoo design right here.
Make sure you talk into the mic.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're all right.
Yeah.
No sorries.
These I made myself.
Oh, you
Had
show
little,
them to.
little bubbles and fishies at the
Oh,
bottom. so I like
yeah,
little aquarium
the-
stuff.
Seaside.
Yeah, these little pandas, little bamboo, and
Cute.
these have like little music, little music notes and
Yeah, you want to show her
Different stuff
the
like that.
tattoo one real quick?
Very cute.
There you
one?
go. Yeah, that way.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh,
can
yeah,
have
those are
these. You
cute.
guys can have all these.
Oh, the
Oh.
sparkle.
Oh, dope. We appreciate it.
Oh.
You guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the best pictures of the best outfit in
Oh, yeah.
these.
I'll post you. on my
That'll be
page.
exciting.
Yeah, that's another
I've got
thing.
such a cute outfit for
Yeah,
that.
that's one thing we do is if anybody sends us pictures wearing my stuff, we post it on Instagram and on our website. So
That's exactly what. Yeah, we just discussed that when people we're starting to do merch again and everything.
mhm.
It's-
yeah,
if,
like your hat.
I
like that.
did you like what hat? This hat?
Your hat, yeah.
What am I wearing? This is Earth Rhythm.
Is it?
Yeah,
I like
this,
those colors. It's
yeah.
really
This is
Mhm.
Earth Rhythm. The homies out of Santa Cruz, the cookies dudes.
You have to wear the ombre blue. Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna if anybody gets any of our new stuff. The reason you said when I stuttered there or stopped is because I just made a hat this morning
Oh,
and put
yeah.
it on the merch store. I'm like, you already saw it? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, we have hats up there now.
It's a nice hat.
Speaking of hats, I made a Cookies Queen hat to wear today, and
Oh, yeah.
it's
no.
late, so it's coming tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh no.
It
Well,
just had my logo, my little Cookies Queen logo on it.
well,
Yeah,
take a
cute.
picture of it. We'll put your picture out there, and then we'll
Mhm.
put your link under it for your
All
for your store.
All right, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll figure that out.
Right on.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm.
Yeah, because your
I-
logo is so great.
I literally learned how to put that website together in 2 hours yesterday.
Mm.
So it's a process started.
Maybe I can help you with anything I've learned so far.
Yeah, I need to learn. I'm learning and fixing the SEO now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a nightmare.
I know.
It's
That's why
it's
I was
like a bad word.
I was like I think halfway through what I needed to do, and I was just like, we're not doing any more today, bud. we're not doing anymore. And then I worked on the merch store and stuff, but I was like, I'm not doing this, but I'm not doing this.
And you can never be finished with it.
Oh my God, it's never going to be done. But like, and then neither is the website, because I'm learning more about that. I'm like, ooh, I could do this and layer and tile. And I'm like, when are you going to make money? Like,
exactly. Like, I'm learning stuff for like, wait, maybe I can get hired to do these things too.
But yeah, I mean, we're eventually I'm trying to make a bigger team and stuff like that. So maybe eventually, if we get sponsorships, we can bring people on.
Yeah.
I want people that, especially to help with designing different stuff and everything. Like, I have some really good ideas. I know everyone else does. I know, like, those are dope.
Thanks.
And I think more collaboration means better shit.
Definitely.
Anything else you wanted to?
I mean, I make lots of stuff custom, so way more than just what's in my shop, because I've got shops on Etsy. I do home decor and bedding and bathroom stuff, like basically everything.
if you live, she has something for you.
Yeah.
If you're living life.
Yeah. If you're alive, I have something that.
If you're alive, if you're dead, don't hit me up.
Yeah, only the alive people.
No zombies.
Get a discount.
No undead.
No coffin logos.
Hollywood undead. Undead. Sorry. I know people hate them. But, dope. We'll definitely, like I said, we're gonna figure out how to feature you up there with your store and whatnot, and then hell yeah, with the socks that pop.
And if you don't know how to do that, my guy makes websites for a living.
Oh, I'm in it. Like,
so
I'm in there like swimwear now.
Just ask him; he'll do whatever.
I'm trying to be humble right now. I know what I'm doing.
All right, cool.
A lot of people. I mean, there's people that know better than me, but I also need to push myself.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money to pay anybody.
Yeah, I can't pay anybody else either. So like, the Etsy stuff is
that's entrepreneurship.
Is insane.
Yes.
I'll just say that.
Luckily, I've gotten okay with it, but I hit a roadblock. That's why when you go on the mobile site and you go to the search bar, like, some of those links are just dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I never.
But reach out if you're looking for things.
My website apparently was total trash, and I didn't know it because I don't know anything about websites. And then when I hired this new guy, he redid the entire thing. So.
Yeah, maybe I will talk to you about that. Maybe, like, because there'll be a time where I need to not be doing everything.
Yeah.
I need to not. Yeah.
We'll talk.
Collaboration.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
sharing is caring.
I keep trying to give like stuff, and then it just anyway.
Get there.
Yeah. So, all right. So, thank you very much, Allison, for coming. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to High Grade. Shout out to Rise. Sin City Seeds. We're eventually growing the strain that we named out here. Eventually, we'll be growing. Shout out Pot Buddha, Boo Ghost from Boominati.
Oh, yeah.
Hit him up. Get the juice, Boo juice, shirts, whatever. Shout out Gilbert Grower, Pheno Rich, Trippy Terpenes, Only Glands, Papadelic, Hades, Cannabis, Apothecary. Shout out to Barry Entertainment. Go check out our website, thehealingchefspodcast.com, thehealingchefspodcast.com, thehealingchefspodcast.com. Check us out on IG at _healingchefs, at _healingchefs, YouTube, The Healing Chefs, Spotify. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps out immensely. Watch the videos to the end, please.
Turn those notifications on.
Turn the notifications on. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for coming and joining. We're going to have the live premiere. I'm trying to remember everything. Do you have the ability to do it Tuesday at 5?
Me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Tuesday at 5?
Yes.
Virtual?
Possibly. It'll kind of depend on my work day.
Whoa, okay. What's a better time for you?
Maybe an hour later.
6? All right. Tuesday at 6. Work?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So Tuesday at 6, we will be going live. We'll have a premiere and everything. Live chat. We'll be in the chat, smoking along, talking along, bullshitting along.
All right.
All right. And it's a good time. It's fun. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Log in and
it's what we
start
do about
chatting.
every week. Yeah.
I can do that.
It's funny. People, you get to roast me in the comments.
All right.
Put it down there. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Habari Entertainment. Thank you, Hollywood Betty, new co-host. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Allison. All right. Tap
And
in, smoke
viewers.
up, trip out. We're out of here.
Thank you.
I forgot something, probably. Oh my God.